Electronics are becoming more and more ubiquitous in all of our lives. We are all connected to devices at all times. But what happens to the end of life of these electronics? Our next panel will be talking about how we need to move away from just managing the end of life of these electronics to really thinking through the entire life cycle within a circular economy approach.
My name's John Gertzakis. I'm the Director of Communications with Equilibrium Consultants, and we've just had a good discussion this morning around the circular economy and the role of electronics in the circular economy, where we've talked about a whole range of different issues. What do you see as some of the interesting insights from that discussion, Carmel?
Thanks, John. I'm Carmel Dollison from the Australia and New Zealand Recycling Platform. We recycle TVs, computers and printers under the federal government legislation for product stewardship. So we represent the big end of IT land, who are really leaders in the product stewardship schemes that are focusing on removal of hazardous substances, reuse, recycling, and I guess looking towards how they fit into the circular economy. So the things that we really feel are absolutely key to getting circular economy going for electronics is that global collaboration. It takes working between government, industry, academia and the community to make this come together. And then I think there's two other bits to it, is we as consumers must be responsible or accountable for our consumption. We drive the development of new products, so we must be accountable for that consumption, and there needs to be real transparency around what's happening in this industry and where it's going. And I think if we can get those things in place, we have a real path where circular economy can survive, become reality.
How do you see it, Rose?
Well, the great thing about this session, I'm Rose Reid from MRI eCycle Solutions, and we're an e-waste and battery recycler, so we have a key role in enabling the circular economy. And what I thought was great about today's session, because we had representatives from companies like Telstra, what our world can look like in 5 years' time from an electronics perspective, and where circular economy fits into that, and how innovative we can be in driving those things. From having cars that just, in terms of the length of ownership of product, or how we own products or don't own products, how we move to services, how the consumers get engaged, and how many different things we can evolve. So. And the key drivers that are going to get us there. So, yeah, that was great.
Monique?
Really good.
Okay. Hi, I'm Monique Retamal. I'm from the Institute for Sustainable Futures at UTS. And I really enjoyed today's session because there was a diverse, sort of array of speakers. And so I'm coming from a research background, and we're looking into how Australia can really implement a circular economy, and particularly today with electronics. I was really focusing on the need for product longevity. So there's a lot of focus on recycling, and there's a lot more than circular economy is about a lot more than recycling. We need to also narrow and slow material loops, not just to close them. We need to look into more sort of durability and repair and recycling, and designing products so that they can be sort of maintained and potentially last longer. And in talking about that, we considered sort of different types of policy innovations which might be necessary to kind of shift the market. But I believe that we need a lot more public awareness about the impacts of e-waste, and to create that groundswell where we can actually collaborate, producers and policymakers and whatever, to create the environment where this is easier for consumers to do, to actually make their goods last longer, and we can actually really participate in the circular economy.
What strikes me is that achieving a circular economy is something that is going beyond business as usual. This is about a transformative phase where we really need to look at materials and products and services like we've not looked at them ever before. So there's a real need to consider how we design products and services in a way that maximises resource productivity, minimises environmental impacts, but importantly, consistent with the definitions around circular economy, is how do we design in features that are restorative, regenerative, maximise product life, things like that. So, it's been a great event in that sense, to be able to hear other people's ideas around what circular economy means, because there's great diversity You know, it means different things to different sectors, industries, communities, etc. And it's how do we coherently stitch all of that together to deliver circularity.
And I think what's great is the collaboration was a key theme. And when you think about all the players that were at the forum, you know, whether it's a manufacturer, whether it's government, whether it's research, everyone has a key role to play, and there is a lot more collaboration. And electronics is a very important tool that will help us create this more circular economy and enable us to use less resources and less materials. So, you know, we will see less electronic devices, but delivering a far more efficient lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as we get clarity and greater communication, then the market will respond. So we've got the entrepreneurs that are developing new ideas and how we apply that, how we use the intelligence in the products.
So that the choices become available.
Absolutely.
People have options. They know what's out there rather than sort of what do I do, how do I do it, what's available.
I also think, you know, we need to create this groundswell, and we need to create this sort of, you know, business innovation. So there's alternative business models for people, and obviously, you know, increased recycling and that kind of thing. But we also need to make sure that all of these activities we're contributing to actually make a difference in terms of the environmental impact,
Measurable.
because that's why we're here, and that's, you know, a key theme of the circular economy, that we don't get sort of caught up in the excitement of all of these new things. So yeah.
I like a bit of excitement too.
Yeah.
I think we're at a tipping point. I think we want the measurable, we want the excitement, the sort of the positive outcomes.
Yeah.
But I think we are at a tipping point with a whole range of possibilities. And you know, there are things that I think would make a difference. And at a Commonwealth level, to bring uniformity and harmonisation, the idea of a circular economy commissioner that has autonomy, can bring industry to the table, can bring government and communities to the table to work on these issues. Yeah, we could do a lot worse.
And I think, you know, it's not doom and gloom. There are some great initiatives out there. There's some, you know, a real move to a services economy. There's, you know, wonderful innovation in how products can be reused and their life extended. So we need to acknowledge that, but build on it, because it's not quite maybe a blank sheet, but there is a real challenge to how organisations and every type moves to a circular economy.
It's not all straightforward.
Correct.
But the investment of that effort is worth it.
Yep.
And now I think it's time for a sandwich.
Indeed.
Thanks.